Hello and a very warm welcome to the channel. Today we are embarking on an extraordinary journey, one that will take us back millions of years into our planet's deep past. We are venturing into a lost world, a world ruled by giants, a world of the dinosaurs. These magnificent creatures dominated the Earth for an almost incomprehensible length of time. They continue to captivate our imaginations. But what we think we know is often just the surface of a much deeper, more astonishing story. The tireless work of paleontologists around the globe is constantly rewriting that history, revealing details stranger and more wonderful than we could have conceived. Prepare to have your perceptions challenged. The facts we will explore are not the ones from school picture books. These are discoveries from the cutting edge of science, secrets unearthed from ancient stone. Before we delve in, I want to know what sparked your curiosity. What is the one dinosaur fact that has always amazed you? Please take a moment to share your favorite fact in the comments below. Now, let us begin. For generations, our image of the dinosaur has been one of scales, leathery, reptilian skin, much like that of a modern crocodile or lizard. This was the accepted truth, a portrait painted by the earliest fossil discoveries and cemented in popular culture. But the Earth does not give up its secrets easily, and in recent decades, remarkable finds, particularly from the rich fossil beds of China, have sparked a revolution in our understanding. These fossils, preserved in exquisite detail, tell a different story. They show unequivocally that many dinosaurs were adorned not with scales, but with feathers. Imagine a velociraptor, not as the scaly creature of Hollywood fame, but as something far more bird-like. Fossil evidence reveals quill knobs on their arm bones, the very same structures where large flight feathers anchor in modern birds. These were not simple, downy filaments but complex, veined feathers, structurally identical to those of a living eagle or pigeon. This discovery has forced us to repaint our picture of the past, transforming these fearsome predators into animals that were, in many ways, far more intricate and visually spectacular than we ever dared to believe. These feathers likely served a multitude of purposes. In smaller dinosaurs, they may have aided in gliding or even powered flight, a crucial step on the evolutionary road to modern birds. For larger, non-flying dinosaurs like the tyrannosauroids, they could have been used for insulation, helping these warm-blooded animals regulate their body temperature in varying climates. It's also highly probable that they were used for display, flamboyant crests and colorful tail fans used in elaborate courtship rituals, a spectacle of prehistoric pageantry we can now only imagine. This feathered revelation does more than just change their appearance, it deepens our connection to them. It bridges the vast temporal gap between their world and ours. When we look at a velociraptor now, we see not just a monster from a bygone age, but a complex animal, a not-so-distant relative of the birds we see outside our windows every day. The line between dinosaur and bird becomes beautifully, wonderfully blurred, reminding us that life's story is one of continuous and often surprising transformation. The Tyrannosaurus rex, its very name means tyrant lizard king. It is an animal that has, more than any other, come to symbolize the raw, terrifying power of the prehistoric world. Its reputation is built on its colossal size, its reputation is built on its predatory nature, and above all, the devastating power of its mouth. But even our most vivid imaginings may fall short of the mechanical reality. Recent biomechanical studies using advanced computer modeling based on its skull structure have attempted to quantify the force of a T-Rex bite. The results are simply staggering. A mature T-Rex could bring its jaws together with a force of around 12,800 pounds, nearly 6 metric tons, more than double the bite force of the saltwater crocodile. It's the equivalent of a medium-sized elephant sitting down on you. This was not a bite for merely slicing flesh, it was a bone-shattering event. The T-Rex was a catastrophic predator, capable of pulverizing the skeletons of its prey with a single, devastating clamp. Its teeth were perfectly evolved for this purpose. They were not flat and blade-like as in many other carnivorous dinosaurs. Instead, they were thick. They were conical. They were deeply rooted, like giant serrated railroad spikes. That shape made them incredibly resistant to immense pressures and torsional stresses. When a T-Rex bit down, its teeth acted as bone crushers. They created immense pressure points that could splinter even the thickest femurs of a Triceratops and an Edmontosaurus. That granted access to the rich marrow within. This incredible power tells us a great deal about its ecological role. The T-Rex was not just a hunter. It was an apex predator capable of dismembering and consuming virtually every part of its victims. When we picture the age of dinosaurs, we often imagine a single monolithic landscape, a tropical jungle teeming with prehistoric life. But the reign of the dinosaurs spanned over 150 million years, a period in which the Earth's continents were themselves in motion, drifting and reforming. The dinosaurs were a truly global dynasty, adapting and thriving in a vast array of environments across the entire planet. Their fossils are not confined to one or two legendary bone beds. They have been discovered on every single one of our 7 modern continents. From the scorching deserts of what is now Africa and Asia, to the temperate forests of North America and Europe, dinosaurs made their home. In South America, the colossal titanosaurs roamed in vast herds, while Australia had its own unique collection of dinosaurs, Australovenator, Minmi. Perhaps the most surprising and compelling evidence of their global dominion comes from the most inhospitable continent on Earth, Antarctica. Today, it is a frozen wasteland of ice and snow, but 100 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period, it was very different. Though it was still situated over the South Pole and experienced months of polar darkness, the climate was far warmer. It was covered in lush conifer forests, a green world in a polar twilight, and it was home to its own unique dinosaur fauna. Paleontologists, braving the harshest conditions on the planet, have unearthed the fossilized remains of dinosaurs like the predator Cryolophosaurus, nicknamed Elvosaurus for its distinctive head crest, and the plant-eating Glacialosaurus. Finding these animals in Antarctica fundamentally changes our view of their adaptability. It proves that dinosaurs were not just creatures of the tropics, they were robust, versatile animals capable of surviving in challenging polar environments with extreme seasonal changes. Their kingdom truly had no bounds. In the early 19th century, the scientific world was abuzz with strange and monumental discoveries. Across England and beyond, men of science were unearthing colossal bones from the earth, bones unlike those of any known living creature. They hinted at a past world inhabited by giants. But what were these creatures? It was a brilliant and famously combative British anatomist named Sir Richard Owen, who first recognized that these disparate finds, Megalosaurus, Iguanodon, Hylaeosaurus, belonged to a single, distinct group of animals. He saw in their skeletons a shared set of characteristics, particularly in their hip structure, that set them apart from any living reptile. He realized they belonged to a single, distinct group of animals, a lost tribe that deserved its own scientific classification. In 1842, at a meeting of the British Association for the Advancement of Science, he proposed a name for this new group. He coined the term Dinosauria. Dinos, meaning terrible or fearfully great, sauros, meaning lizard. Thus, dinosaur translates to terrible lizard or fearfully great lizard. Owen chose this name not because he necessarily thought of them as monstrously evil, but to evoke a sense of awe and grandeur, to convey their immense size and their fundamentally different nature compared to the lizards of the modern world. The name was a masterstroke of scientific branding. It was dramatic, memorable, and perfectly captured the public's imagination. The very word dinosaur conjures images of immense size. We think of the ground-shaking tread of a Tyrannosaurus, or the neck of a Brachiosaurus reaching high into the canopy, and while the giants of the Mesozoic era are certainly one of its defining features, this focus on the colossal can obscure a hidden, parallel world of dinosaur life. The fossil record reveals a surprising truth. For every giant, there were countless smaller species. Many dinosaurs were no bigger than animals we know today, and some were astonishingly tiny. Consider the Microraptor, a small, four-winged dinosaur from early Cretaceous China. From tip to tail it was only about 2 to 3 feet long, much of that a long, feathered tail. Its body was comparable in size to a modern crow, or to a pigeon. It was a world away from the multi-ton behemoths. Its discovery was revolutionary, not just for size but because it had long, flight-capable feathers on both arms and legs. That suggests it glided, parachuting from tree to tree, and it wasn't alone. Compsognathus was a bipedal carnivore from late Jurassic Europe, roughly the size of a chicken. These tiny dinosaurs occupied niches the giants couldn't fill, living at the feet of enormous relatives. For a very long time, the story of the dinosaurs had a definitive, tragic ending. 66 million years ago, a cataclysmic event wiped them from the face of the earth, leaving behind only their fossilized bones as a testament to their long reign. This was the narrative we all learned. But what if I told you that this story is not entirely true? What if I told you that the dinosaurs never truly vanished? They are all around us every single day. You only need to know where to look. Look to the sky. Listen to the song in the trees at dawn. Birds are not just related to dinosaurs. Birds are dinosaurs. They are a living, breathing, flying branch of the same family tree. Specifically, they are the sole survivors of the theropod dinosaurs, the group that included fearsome predators like Tyrannosaurus rex and Velociraptor. The evidence is overwhelming. Skeletons show hundreds of shared features: wishbone, hollow bones, a wrist structure that folds a wing. Feathered dinosaur fossils provided a dramatic link. The fossil record shows the transition. Large bipedal predators, smaller feathered forms, gliders, powered flyers. So when you see a hummingbird hovering at a flower, or a sparrow taking a dust bath, or an eagle soaring on thermal currents, you are not looking at a distant cousin of the dinosaurs. You are looking at a modern, highly evolved avian dinosaur. The terrible lizards did not entirely die out. One lineage survived the Great Extinction. They shed their teeth for beaks, reduced their long tails, and perfected the art of flight, diversifying into the more than 10,000 species of birds that enrich our planet today. The reign of dinosaurs never ended. It just became airborne. The sauropods, long-necked, long-tailed, plant-eating dinosaurs that really, embody the sheer scale of prehistoric life. These were the largest land animals ever to have walked the earth. For paleontologists, the quest to identify the very biggest of them all is a tantalizing, ongoing challenge. The fossil record is fragmentary. We often work with incomplete skeletons, which makes definitive pronouncements difficult. But from the colossal bones unearthed, one contender stands out: Argentinosaurus, discovered in Patagonia, Argentina. The rocks there have yielded some of the most gigantic dinosaurs known. Argentinosaurus huinculensis lived in the late Cretaceous, about 95 million years ago. We haven't found a complete skeleton. The bones we do have are breathtaking in proportion. A single vertebra, taller than a grown man. Its tibia, or shin bone, is about 1.55 meters long. From these titanic fragments, paleontologists extrapolate full size. The estimates are mind-boggling, believed to have stretched over 100 feet, possibly up to 115 feet, about 35 meters. That's longer than 3 school buses end to end. Weight estimates range from 70 to 100 metric tons. This animal was like a walking ecosystem, an island of flesh and bone, moving ponderously across Cretaceous plains, head above the trees, eating vast vegetation daily. In the deadly world of the dinosaurs, speed was a matter of life and death. For a predator, it meant the difference between catching a meal and, well, starving. For prey, it was the only hope of escape. While we often think of the heavy, lumbering giants, the Mesozoic era also hosted spectacular sprinters. These were the ornithomimids, bird-mimic theropods built to run. Imagine giant, flightless ostriches. Ornithomimus is one of the best-known examples. It lived in North America at the end of the Cretaceous. It had long, powerful hind legs with an elongated shin and foot. Think cheetahs. Think ostriches. That anatomy increases stride length. Its body was lightweight, its bones hollow. A long, stiff tail acted as a counterbalance for high-speed turns. Scientists used those features and fossilized trackways to model their running. The estimates are impressive. Dinosaurs like Ornithomimus and Struthiomimus could cruise fast and sprint to around 40 miles per hour. That made them among the fastest animals, outpacing most predators. The sounds of the Mesozoic world are lost to time. We will never hear the true call of a Triceratops or the bellow of a Brachiosaurus. Yet the fossils they left behind contain tantalizing clues. They suggest that the world of the dinosaurs was far from silent. It was likely a vibrant, noisy place, filled with a complex orchestra of sounds used for communication. The evidence lies in the bizarre and wonderful crests, frills, nasal passages, structures that seem to have little purpose for eating or fighting. Consider the Lambeosaurine hadrosaurs, like Parasaurolophus. This dinosaur is famous for the long, hollow, curving crest on its head. For years, scientists debated its function. Was it a snorkel? A weapon? CT scans of fossil skulls now suggest a complex resonating chamber. Air breathed in through the nostrils would travel through internal tubes in the crest before reaching the lungs. By exhaling through this structure, Parasaurolophus could have produced deep trombone-like sounds. These sounds would have been unique to the species, perhaps even individuals. Differences in crest shape between males, females, juveniles suggest the pitch and tone could signal age, sex, social status. These were not just random noises, this was language. Used to warn the herd of a predator, maintain contact across dense forest, or for males to compete for mates in auditory displays. The herd of Parasaurolophus would have been a symphony of sound, and it wasn't just sound. Visual communication was equally important. The huge frill of a Triceratops offered protection and was richly supplied with blood vessels. For 150 million years, the dinosaurs were the undisputed masters of our planet. Their dynasty had weathered climate change, volcanic activity, and shifting continents. It must have seemed that their reign would last forever, but it was brought to a sudden, violent, and cataclysmic end by an intruder from outer space. Around 66 million years ago, an asteroid or a comet, estimated to be at least 6 miles wide, slammed into the Earth at an unimaginable speed. The age of dinosaurs was about to end. The point of impact has been located. It lies buried beneath layers of sediment under the Yucatan Peninsula in modern-day Mexico, centered near the town of Chicxulub. The crater it left behind, known as the Chicxulub crater, is over 110 miles in diameter. The energy released by this impact was, honestly, biblical, equivalent to billions of atomic bombs. The immediate effects were apocalyptic. A fireball incinerated everything for hundreds of miles, and the impact triggered colossal tsunamis that washed across the continents and earthquakes that shook the entire planet. But the immediate blast, devastating as it was only the beginning. The impact vaporized enormous quantities of rock and sent a cloud of superheated dust, ash and soot high into the atmosphere. This dense cloud spread around the globe, enshrouding the planet in darkness. Sunlight was blocked for months, perhaps even years. Photosynthesis ceased, causing plants on land and plankton in the oceans to die off on a massive scale. The entire global food chain collapsed from the bottom up. This was the impact winter. And so, our journey through the lost world of the dinosaurs comes to a close. We have seen them not as the lumbering monsters of old, but as vibrant, complex, and wonderfully diverse animals. Feathered, heard their phantom calls, and felt the astonishing power of their bite. From the global dynasty that conquered every continent to the tiny sprinters that lived in the shadows of giants, their story is one of incredible evolutionary success. The Chicxulub impact may have ended their reign, but it could not erase their legacy, a legacy that lives on in the birds that fly over our heads today. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of our planet's deep past. The story of life on Earth is the most epic tale ever told, and the dinosaurs form one of its most breathtaking chapters. If you found these discoveries as fascinating as I do, please consider subscribing to the channel. We have many more journeys planned, to the deepest oceans, the farthest stars, and back in time to meet other incredible creatures. The world of dinosaurs is a constant source of wonder, with new discoveries being made all the time. I am sure many of you have your own favorite facts that we didn't get to cover today. What part of the dinosaur story fascinates you the most? Was it their sheer size, their surprising appearance, or their dramatic end? Please share your thoughts and your favorite fact in the comments below. It is in this shared passion for knowledge that the spirit of discovery truly thrives. Until next time, keep looking and keep wondering.